Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Pro Division with a qualifying round win for the Monster Tournament here in Golf Clash the game. Before we start, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. You can get the ultimate tournament guides, the best guides on the market, by going to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Link to Patreon and our guides is directly in the description down below. Follow the info box that you can find on the right hand side here on the screen. There you can get the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also what ball and club type I suggest you to play with. Have in mind that those are all suggestions and you don't have to follow it if you don't want to, but there's always a plan behind it. So let's go to hole number 1. For hole number 1, we are going to go for green, and this is honestly going to be one of the easier eagles that we have got that we're playing for in a long time. There are a couple of par 4s like this in the game, and Sunshine Glades hole number 1 is one of them. So we're starting at max. We're using 4.2 bars of backspin, 3 left spin, adjust max plus 20, and after that you're going to push up. And I'm going to explain about the push up once we have taken this shot. Now, time to use curl, and I'm using 0.8 ball of curl to the left, which is that amount. You can see that the right side of the ball is just by the edge of the circle. So when it comes to the push-up, what I would like you to do is to always start by adding 3 left spin and 4.2 backspin. Then you push up so you see that the second bounce is approximately 1 ring above the bunker, right? So that push-up will then be different depending on what club you're having, because the clubs has this different power. So you will have to take a note of that when you do play, that okay, I pushed up to see the second bounce, it was 1 ring, just as an example. Then once you have adjusted, you push up 1 ring to get that distance back. So it's very important that you do that. You would probably manage anyway, but I believe it's very important to do that to bring consistency to this shot, but also give ourselves a look for the hole-in-one. Hole number 2, and we're gonna play a rough bump. This rough bump is absolutely money and has been very good for us with our snipers. So with sniper level 9 and level 10, you can play with a power 1 ball such as the navigator, and we're gonna add 2 top spin, half a bar of right spin. Then we're looking for the top of the red ring by the rough line with a ball guideline through the hole. Adjustment is medium distance with a 20% over adjustment, power 2 ball settings. So once adjusted, then it's time to take our shot. Those of you that do play with sniper level 7 or level 8, we do recommend to change to a katana instead, to make sure that you not go in between clubs if you do have a headwind angle. Bounce into the rough, just lovely, and it rolls up right at pin for a beautiful hole-in-one on hole number 2. Hole number 3 has a tough win, but we're starting with a quarterback at the plus 9-yard mark with the blue ring by the rough line, and then we shall then change to the extra mile. So now we do have the extra mile, and we're going to use 4.5 bar top spin and 3 bars of right spin. Adjustment is going to be max plus 10. So when we have adjusted max plus 10, we shall use outside wall right curl. I'm using a kingmaker here to give myself the 3 right spin to prevent myself from having to go more curl, because using curl will move our landing spot, and if using too much curl we may we may move ourselves too far to the right, which will cause a problem for the first bounce. Second shot is going to be with a sniper. Here I do believe it's important to not start too high up. So we would like to start at the plus 1 yard mark if possible, and using 4 backspins, 1.8 left spin with the ball guideline through the hole. Adjustment here now from plus 1 should be 66% slider with a 35% over adjustment our 3 ball settings. In the video I'm only using 25% slider, 25% over adjustment, which obviously is a problem, or will be a problem. Perfect ball, and you will notice here that I will miss to the left may a tad too... Nah, speed-wise was actually pretty perfect. So again, we need more. That's why the 35% elevation is suggested in the info box, as the miss was with 25. Hole number 3, tough hole, but an albatross is makeable. For hole number 4, you will see two options. One where we do play aggressive with a big topper, and one where we do lay up, which is more directed towards lower level type of clubs. Here, the big topper level 4 or better is going to be absolutely needed. And we're going to play all but one bar of topspin, no side spin. You can see with the big topper level 6, we can actually aim on the fairway. When it comes to big topper level 4, we will be most likely just below fairway, so you're going to have to move your target up into overpower to see where you are in terms of the distance. So in the end, we're using a little bit of overpower just to compensate for the loss of power that we're getting by adjusting into overpower a little bit. But you could see here as well that it wouldn't be needed in this instance, but I would like you to do that anyway, because it's better to be where we are now than ending up short into the water. Max plus 10 is the adjustment. A power 5 ball is absolutely needed with this type of wind, but I do believe that if you do have the big topper, this is the way to play, because from the rough on the back, it's a very, very short rough iron where you have even great balls to drop. But for those of you with low level clubs, let's take a look at the layup option. Hole number 4 again, and this is the second option where we do have a layup for you. Pleasure to lend Ben Kennedy's videos here to display this dunk that we're gonna do. Start at max using 3 left spin, 4.5 bar top spin, and then we shall adjust max plus 10. Push up to max if possible, or like meaning if you have anything to push up there. And then we're gonna apply with extra mile level 8 and 9, 1.5 ring overpower, extra mile level 6 and 7, 2 rings of overpower with outside wall left pearl. And the idea here is to get the ball down, to get past the trees. You can see the trees on the right side, I thought, but you will probably notice it now when it turns around. Maybe see if I'm lucky. No, so we are far enough down at least to not see the tree, which is at least the focus we want to have. Now, second shot, as we are so close to minimum distance, but not entirely at minimum distance, we're going to use the tree and the plus yardage at the tree as a reference. So what we're going to do is to use max backspin to position. You see the blue arrows there, right? Those blue arrows should be at the back end of the cup. Very, very important. So the +1 equals 20% slider, no elevation. And so that's why the plus yardage are so extremely important to check. Because if you don't check the plus yardage, you're going to have to guess, and that's going to equal more misses. Perfect ball, and this ball gets in for a lovely eagle here on hole number 4 with the layup option. Again, I would recommend to go the aggressive option if you have the club and the ball for it, but if you don't, then the layup option will work as well. For hole number 5, we're gonna play with a power 2 ball. This to make sure that we do find complete minimum distance with our quarterback. We recommend to play with the sniper as a wood club because that make the finding of the min line be much easier. 5.5 backspin and 2 bars of side spin to the right. And you can see the landing position is with the red ring by the sand trap line there to the right. Adjustment in the video is minimum distance with a 20% over adjustment power 2 ball settings, but what would you recommend to make as a tweak is to use power 3 ball settings instead. This to give us a couple of extra decimals to our adjustment and make sure that we're not gonna miss as we do here in the video. Have in mind though, hole number 5 is the toughest of the par 3s here, and I'm not really expecting many drops on this one, but with this setup it's a simple one, it's a free to play ball, and it gives us a look at the hole-in-one. Hole number 6, and we are going to use the rock as a club here, and we're gonna start with rock level 8 at the +1 yard mark with the red ring by the rough line. Rock 9 +0, and then rock 7 +6. always a red ring by the rough line. 3.8 topspin, 2 left spin, and adjustment is going to be medium distance with a 10% over adjustment. So yeah, medium distance. Outside wall, left curl. And when it comes to high wind here, and especially for those playing with rock level 7, will most likely adjust into overpower. So be prepared of using whatever amount of overpower that you adjust into. Second shot, as we are somewhat in no man's land, we're gonna use the first of the green bushes as a reference, and to have the ball guideline just at the start of that bush. And that was +2, so we're gonna remember that. Now we do add 0.8 bars of backspin and 0.5 bars of side spin to the right. Ball guideline should go over the right side of the cup, very important, so not straight at the pin. Adjustment from there with +2 as a base reference is 62% slider with a 10% elevation, power 3 ball settings. So adjustment is made, time to center the ball and to hit. Perfect. Perfect ball, and this is going to be a good chance in my opinion of getting a drop. You can see the camera turns around and we know it's going to be close, and we get that ball to just swirl in on the right hand side. So hole number 6 offers a good chance for an albatross. Hole number 7, we're gonna start by playing with the rock, and level 7 or better is my recommendation. And we're gonna start at max distance to have the ball guideline to be centered down the other fairway. 3.8 topspin, 2 right spin, this to reflect the amount of topspin that is possible to use with the rock level 7. Adjust max +10, and then we are going to try to hit perfect. The idea here is to get the ball to be around 340 yards, because we are looking to use the plus yardage on our second shot to dial that shot in. So if we are too long or too short, that's obviously going to have an effect on the second shot's position. Now, it's very important that you move your target to be having the bullseye centered on the fringe. That's where would you want to be. From there, I'm adjusting with 3.8 backspin and also a half a bar of left spin to have the tip of the ball guideline 1 green square short, but pointing to the left side of the pin. I know that might sound very technical, but do your best. Trust me, there is a plan with that. Adjustment is to pull over bullseye, and we're adjusting with 25% elevation with a reference of +2 to be 82% slider with power 2 ball settings, obviously. Perfect ball, and you can see we bounce on the fringe as lovely, and speed is perfect. Right at pin for an eagle on a very tough par 4. For hole number 8, we're gonna start by not touching the spins at all. Very important. So what we're looking for is the top of the red ring to the left there by the rough line, ball guideline through the hole. Once we find that spot, we shall add just a click of side spin to the right, which is gonna be 0.2. Be careful with not adding too much, because that will make the ball miss to the right hand side. Adjustment is going to be maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, power 2 ball settings. So you can see here that I'm correcting the side spin a little bit to make sure that I'm getting the correct amount. If you do have sniper level 9 or level 10, you can play with a katana instead. But those of you playing with sniper level 7 or level 8 needs a power 3 ball to ensure that you're not gonna go in between clubs. Bounce on the fairway, up on the other fairway, and rolls lovely right at pin for a beautiful hole-in-one here on hole number 8, which I do consider to be a very good chance for an hole-in-one. Hole number 9, and this is going to be a tough one, but I do believe that left side is going to be the way to play here to give ourselves a look for an albatross. So I'm using all topspin that I can and 2 bars of side spin to the right to stretch out my target to see the ball guideline centered on the other fairway. Adjustment is max +10. Once that is done, I will push up to max and go with max overpower. What I would recommend though is that with extra miles level 6 or 7 that only have 4.5 bars of topspin, I would recommend to always play with a power fireball. You could play with a power fireball here as well, even if I do play with an extra mile level 8 or Thor's hammer or Apocalypse, to make sure that you're getting over, but it's not, you know, it's not a must, so to speak. Second shot is gonna be with our sniper, and here I'm going to check where minimum distance are and check where max are, and then we're gonna look for a rough line check, which is +4 in this instance. I'm not gonna use 3 left spin here, I'm only going to use 1, and I'm gonna use 2.5 bar of backspin. Ball guideline to be 1 green square short of pin, or like 1 cup short of the cup is a better way of explaining it. And from +4 a rough line check here, what we're looking for is actually adjust 1 to 1, but for those that paying close attention, see that I do adjust 6.6 rings, which is half a ring too much. And then with a great right here, it kind of compensates for that over adjustment, and it gives me the drop still, which obviously is super duper lucky. But in the end, try to follow the reference of +4 equals 1 to 1, which is 50% slider, power 3 numbers, 10% elevation. So this is a decent shot from Albatross, but the drive is everything. If you mess up the drive, you're gonna see yourself playing for an eagle only, but if you do have your drive on fairway, the Albatross is definitely there. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Pro Division with the qualifying round win here in Golf Clash the game. Make sure that you do get the ultimate tournament guides on Pro, Expert and or Master. You can also get our exclusive tour text guides as well. Link to Patreon and our guides is in the description down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching and good luck in your Golf Clash game.